to a roar. Alpine Stories. In 2007, the Alpine village of Thredbo turns 50. A vision of pioneering European skiers Tony Sponnar and Charles Anton, Thredbo was distinct in that it was set up to be entirely self-managed, right down to looking after its own sewerage, but more on that later. The head lease of Thredbo is operated by Kosciuszko Thredbo, part of Amalgamated Holdings, who generally own hotels and cinemas. Kosciuszko Thredbo's general manager is the former Olympic skier Kim Clifford.
Kosciuszko Thredbo we refer to as the head leasee of a parcel of land about 1,000 hectares from the Kosciuszko National Park or the Department of Environment. And it's quite unique in that way because Thredbo is actually is responsible for a whole array of services like a local government authority. We supply the water, the roads, the garbage, the sewage, the waste removal, snow clearing, the parks and gardens, all within a Thredbo lease area.
Was there ever a fear that there might not be another lease?
I think Kosciuszko Thredbo has quite clearly indicated to all our subleasees, which we have about 700, which are the operators of the commercial lodges, the apartment buildings, the retail businesses, that has been our intention to exercise our lease over the last 10 years or so. But once again, until you get the final form of the lease, it's very hard to commit 100%.
Kim, I guess not many people can claim to be truly local to Thredbo, but I believe you can.
Yeah, in many ways I can. I first came to Thredbo with my family, who built and operated a commercial lodge called Winterhurst from the very early 60s, and basically I've remained in the ski industry and remained very much in Thredbo. I've come and gone a couple of times.
What are your memories of Thredbo as a youngster?
I think probably the clearest memory is probably the openness of space. We just walk everywhere. Obviously, it was probably before any other means of transport, and we used to walk from our backyard was really probably from Kosciuszko to Cascades Hut, this back of Ridgeline, and had to make your own fun then. Funny enough, there weren't TVs in Thredbo until probably the late 70s, believe it or not, due to reception problems.
You could always ban them now.
That wouldn't be such a bad idea, would it?
I wanted to get to the bottom of what really goes on in Thredbo, and I got my chance when I caught up with Ewan Diver. So you're the environmental manager, is that right?
That's right, Richard. My role is environmental services manager for Kosciuszko Thredbo. I'm an engineer by profession, actually geological engineer by background, and I came to the mountains about 14 odd years ago and slowly got into the role, and I'm now responsible for all municipal services in Thredbo, amongst a few other things.
As we drove around, Ewan suggested we stop in at one of his proudest achievements, but it did come as a bit of a surprise.
Well, Richard, welcome to the Thredbo Turd Bogganing Centre, as it's known. It's actually the Thredbo Sewage Treatment Plant. The treatment plant's an activated sludge tertiary treatment plant, which means there's lots of little bugs in aerated tanks eating all the organics out of the sewage, and then the effluent is treated in a series of maturation ponds and through an ultraviolet disinfection unit and a tertiary filtration unit at the end of the plant.
Seems odd, Ewan, I guess, that I've come to Thredbo and I'm here at the sewage treatment plant, but you actually bring tours here, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. On the odd occasion, Richard, I've got a daughter in the local childcare centre, and I get the odd request from them to do a tour around the village, and no tour, I believe, in Thredbo would be complete without coming down to the sewage treatment plant and showing all the little boys and girls where their wee and poos go at the end of the day.
How do they react?
Well, I don't let them out of the bus for obvious reasons, but we open the windows and they get a whiff and they say, oh, that doesn't smell all that bad, and they're actually quite excited.
I mean, looking at the background here where we are, there's a couple of nice ponds, there's trees, there's a proliferation of bird life. Could almost be a place for a picnic.
Other than that little odour I can smell in the background, unfortunately our viewers can't. We've made an attempt, because we are in a national park, we've made an attempt over the years to, and we are quite visible from passing traffic on the Alpine Way, we've actually made an attempt to beautify the surrounds of the treatment plant. I came here in October 1992, just after winter 1992, and I've basically developed here. I've found my wife here. I've had a young family here, and still reside here.
If I don't mind asking you a little bit about the landslide,
Yep.
And obviously that, a major impact on your family, with your brother being
that's right.
being in the chalet.
Yeah.
Did that taint things at all for you?
I guess the road collapsed because it wasn't only my family. It was a lot of other people involved. The community as well. I guess what it did was brought us all a bit closer. Particularly my family. We became a lot closer. But it also gave us that bond with Thredbo that would make it extremely difficult to leave.
How do you react when people say, oh, there's not going to be snow in 20 or 30 years' time?
One example I use is really to do with technology. Thredbo, prior to snowmaking, was lucky to ski top to bottom on an average season of about 15 days per season. And today, with snowmaking and slope grooming, both summer and winter, slope grooming, we can ski 100 days on those trials. And snowmaking, even in the last 10 years, have become probably between 100 and 200% more efficient.
Is there a point where you're at capacity as far as people that are here skiing and staying in Thredbo?
Yeah, that's a fine balance. Basically, on a capacity day, which controls itself in many ways, road, the population. On a lovely sunny day with fabulous conditions, we can have about 10,000 people in Thredbo.
Do you still think Thredbo retains what you remember?
Yeah, I think Thredbo does, because a lot of young families who come in summer and winter let their children a bit of free rein, because they can walk out. They do feel a lot safer, which is a great community. And the reason they feel safer, I guess, there's enclosed, there's people watching out, and we are lucky, in some ways lucky enough, to be removed from a city and where there's pressures of life, etc. I'm not saying we don't have fun, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, but well, it'd be naive to say that, wouldn't I?